Just three jobbers. Your boy Dirty Kev over here. What's up, everybody? I am here with the original Just Three Jobbers. I'm here with Max Zwak and Mustafa Abdallah. Boys, how are we today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Monday Night Raw. We're all here for that. Max, how about you, man? How's your morning been?
I'm doing great. I had a good night's sleep, and I'm ready to go talk about Monday Night Raw, baby.
Great night.
Before we hop into it, I think just to announce, we should probably tell this. We're really trying to expand and reach more people and try to get this podcast to as many people. You know, we love wrestling. We want to talk and communicate with a lot of people in this community. So we're trying to reach out to people to get them on our podcast as guests. Any of us would love to hop on any other podcast as well, and we are really pushing to get to 50 subscribers by next Monday, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
We're at 21 as of the last time I checked, so about 2/3 of the way there, 40%. If you're watching this, please subscribe and like this video so we can reach more people. And, we're just really excited about wrestling right now. I know it's not the most exciting time ever, but we love it, and we want to expand the podcast. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, Max, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I appreciate you taking that. And, dude, we're excited to have more people on here. The one thing that's really nice, too, is that, this is happening when it's on the road to SummerSlam, too. So, we have somebody popping in possibly in this episode as well. We'll see. Like we said and what it says in the title there, we're here to review Monday Night Raw, baby. And
I have a topic maybe. Before we even start my Raw,
I just jumped in, yeah.
So you just said, so it's a big time for wrestling as we hop into SummerSlam, right? So that's huge. I'm thinking as the future and the years go and AEW keeps getting bigger, All Out is usually a week or two after SummerSlam.
Yes.
Is this going to become almost where WWE has to make SummerSlam almost an equal to WrestleMania type show because they want to put a huge show up against AEW's All Out? They're basically their WrestleMania, their big show is kind of what they've come to be just because All In was their first show. Is this going to be like the peak time for wrestling in the year since AEW doesn't really have a show around WrestleMania yet?
I think that's a really interesting point. I think this is going to make SummerSlam so important, honestly. And what else is near SummerSlam? Isn't Slam? Well, I guess Slammiversary just happened, so I guess not necessarily.
Bound for Glory is in October, so a little bit off there. But
yeah,
Slammiversary, I think it can be at different times. So sometimes it's closer, sometimes it's not. I'm not sure if it's always the same date. For TNA, but yeah, it's just it's an exciting time for wrestling. AEW is going to be going, no pun intended, all out for their big show.
And is All Out like their second better or their second best pay per view? Or is that
I would say it's
one? It's kind of hard.
Well, I'm not like the AEW. I officially bought it, and I've been super in since about April. So I can't know for sure just because I am not like the biggest expert on it. But I would say from my perspective that it's their biggest show, just because All In was their numero uno, big thing that really started this all. All Out was a huge show last year. That's when they crowned the first ever AEW champion.
Yeah.
I actually feel for me, it just gets that feeling like this is their big show. Like they're going all out for this number one show of the year. They really only have 4 pay-per-views. I don't see Revolution or Full Gear as quite that level.
Yeah.
And Double or Nothing, I think, would be their second, honestly, because that was their first big pay-per-view once as AEW, since All In was really an independent promotion.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, I just think, maybe not this year just because AEW still is building and building. They're amazing, but they still obviously are trying to build and reach bigger audiences. Once AEW keeps growing and All Out becomes their yearly biggest show, this could be a crucial time for WWE to also put on a big show. They don't want to have a mediocre SummerSlam and 2 weeks later have All Out and everybody's talking about how much better it is in SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. I just feel like that could be a potential, proving ground really for these two companies.
And I've even heard rumors that SummerSlam might be a 2-night event as well, kind of similar to WrestleMania.
Maybe this year it makes sense if they want to push all. SummerSlam's just a big show. Why not make it 2 nights just while they're taping it? Because they're able to do this where they can record early, they can tape cinematic matches, and maybe not every year. I think WrestleMania should go 2 nights here, even once they go back.
Yeah.
But SummerSlam, this year, why not? I mean, make sure Kevin Owens gets a match. Make sure Andrade is on SummerSlam. Like Aleister Black, like get matches for these guys, and because I mean they can't all have championship matches. So I'd say, yeah, expand it. Why not? I mean, this is unprecedented times. Why not give 2 nights of entertainment?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and now, but before I get your point with this, Moose, too, is like we're saying, Monday Night Raw is now going. Like we're saying, it's on the way. And from what we've seen from this Monday Night Raw, we don't really necessarily know what the card's really going to look like. It's kind of wild to think that one thing that we got out of here is we have a championship match next week, not only for the Raw, for the WWE title, but also for the Raw Women's Championship as well. Next week's going to be a very solid show, especially with the reviews going, or the ratings going down for Monday Night Raw especially lately. I feel like they're going to be really hyping up Monday Night Raw as something you really want to watch. They're going to be putting hopefully a little bit better content out there. But yeah, I mean, let's just jump into it. And again, one man you brought up was, what is Aleister Black doing? It seems like maybe are we getting Aleister Black versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam? Is that what we're kind of guessing after this first segment?
Even though they give it 3 times for free on Raw.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly the right move, but I mean, if we're talking about Raw, last week, not a great show for the go-home show. For this post-horror show at Extreme Rules Raw, I got to say, well, it wasn't – I have certain problems with booking and certain things they did, but up and down, they really had really, really solid matches up and like all through almost in every hour of the show.
It wasn't like a terrible – like there weren't really like bad segments. No,
I mean the Ruby Riott Pit and Royce match was not great. It was short, it was quick and kind of like a throwaway women's match that is kind of in the past that we're trying to get away from. But it wasn't like terrible. It was, I mean, Billy Kay wasn't there, so I mean, it was there obviously were missing people, but I mean, if I look at this, every hour had a match that I was interested in, I was invested in at least, or a segment. So at least, if Rock can do anything, at least it's giving me good matches, even though I'm not fully there for the storylines. That's not the right exact term, but like some of the choices they make with booking are questionable to me. I'll see where they go, but the matches were great, and Randy Orton continues to be amazing.
Yeah, and Moose, we haven't really heard from you yet. I mean, I want to get your input on this. What did you think of like Monday Night Raw's opening when it came to Seth Rollins and Aleister Black?
What was that? You're cutting out on my end.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, what did you think of that Monday Night Raw opening between Aleister Black and Seth Rollins?
I actually liked it a lot. I think it kind of furthers their storyline because, I mean, they've been like kind of had like a mini feud, you would say, for the past like month with the whole Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black like backing him. I think Seth Rollins is gonna like wrestle him at SummerSlam in like some like big match. I think that's what's gonna happen, and then that's gonna be end of that. And then Seth Rollins is gonna like move on to different things, and Aleister Black will get his final push. I think they need to move Aleister Black away from Seth Rollins to make him a star that he needs to be.
I wonder this too, dude. I almost think that if they are going to do Aleister versus Seth, they have to bring some sort of character back to Aleister Black. Let's be real. I mean, right now he's some bland guy who just raised friend. We don't know anything about the guy. This is finally a feud we can kind of sink our teeth in besides, Buddy Murphy. And right now, again, he's not talking. They're not giving him any, like, why do I give a shit? He's been doing this for 3 months now. I know they're, why give me something so I can at least sink my teeth into it and get excited for Aleister.
We have a whole month.
Exactly. I like that. And I agree. You're right. And I'm hoping if this is going to be a match for them, I don't know why they give this match out. It seems like, again, one of those things where, it's going to be a better match when they finally do face each other. Give him some kind of character change or just something to add to him, just so we make this match something that, meaningful, not just for Ray's eye. They're doing it for not only Ray, but for Aleister. Aleister needs to start stepping up. He's somebody who's, I think, truly could be a leader backstage and somebody who could be a true leader in this company and needs to step up and get, he needs to take the brass ring and just run with it. I mean, Max, you're sitting there. I can tell you're excited. What do you think of that? I feel like you kind of agree.
Sure. I thought really the first 30 minutes of Raw were really solid. I mean, starting off with the Seth Rollins promo, good stuff. And, the match was really good. It was psychologically, like, really well done with the – excuse me, tickle in my throat. with the with Seth attacking the arm the entire match. Really well done. And Alistair did sell great. I mean, I don't think Alistair has taken a step back at all in the ring from his peak days in NXT.
Sorry,
No, and I don't think you were saying that. I just want to make that clear. I just think they're presenting him as a normal babyface where he needs to add more character, be more mysterious, and not be a lackey for Rey Mysterio. Not that he is, but that's almost what he's presented as. I think this segment actually did more for Aleister Black than anything in the last 3 months because he, there was the double team. They brutally attacked him after, and now he's probably going to go away for a little bit. When he comes back, we're going to get rejuvenated Aleister. I really hope. I hope maybe we get some.
I hope it's not really just him running into the stage, Aleister's back. Still no building to his character at all.
I don't think that'll be it. I think that it'll be like
they gotta show some vignettes.
Dark.
They gotta show some vignettes. Too.
Maybe, but I almost think like once he's finally back, everything goes dark. He shows up and he black masses like all three. Once
I would love that.
He shows up and then he black messes them all. That's all he needs to do. He stands right there, then he walks off. Like he doesn't have to say anything. Like make him be silent.
That'd be fun.
Assassin, like something like that. Yeah, that'd be an awesome return, and then sets up for an actually big match against Seth. Hope maybe with a stipulation or something. That'd be really cool. I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of potential now that he's had this kind of fall where he can come back rejuvenated as himself, not just fighting for Rey Mysterio. So I think it was a good way to start the show and really plant some seeds for the future for Aleister to kind of break out more as himself, but not as a throwaway guy.
Yep. Yeah, it was a very solid match. Again, I really do wish, you can complain if you want and say, okay, they're just giving it out on free television. But right now it seems like they're limited with the wrestlers they have for the show. It's interesting because I forget that right now I feel like there's so many wrestlers that are on Monday Night Raw. But with all with COVID and everything, I mean, it might just be limited in what we're able to have out there. So I always forget to do the thing about that. We don't even have Apollo right now. We don't have like Theory.
Austin just came back. I mean, Austin Theory's been gone. So it's definitely, I mean, Billie Kay was gone from the show. Who knows why she was gone? I mean, we don't want to speculate. I mean, obviously these wrestlers could for any reason not become these shows. I mean, they could just have a sore throat, not have COVID, and they should be told to stay home just because if they're sick at all. I mean, there's the reports Tyson Kidd was sick. He tested negative, but he was very sickly, so they still told him to just stay at home for a little while until he gets better, even though he was COVID negative. So I think there's just a lot of precautions, and with a lot of these guys, like either they've tested positive or they want to come. I mean, Kevin Owens wasn't on the show tonight.
I noticed that. Yeah, I was wondering that.
So, I mean, that's always like a hole for me. He's my favorite wrestler, so if he's not on the show, it's obviously stinks because I love seeing him, and I've loved him as a face since he's
a presence. He's a presence.
Yeah. So, but that being said, though, they're utilizing some of these talent. Like we've spoken about how great MVP's been, and they've officially created a stable now. They're called the Hurt Business.
Yep.
There was reports that there was going to be Nation Domination. That was apparently nixed or at least postponed officially.
Yeah.
So they're the Hurt Business right now. It's him, MVP, with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Mm-hmm. Shelton Benjamin beat R-Truth for the 24/7 title. I mean, I know that title.
I think is a good. That's sure, fine because he's not taking it from someone. It's not like that title really means anything. It's something that is good.
He's holding a title. Have him hold it for a month and actually beat up guys that are trying to get it from him. Like have him be a badass 24/7 champion that doesn't lose it. Yeah. He's an idiot. You know what I mean? He doesn't get rolled up. People actually have to beat him up to have he's not gonna be rolled up randomly. So I think potentially that could be good for that stable, and I think they have potential. Like this is where I'm talking about, kind of where I was like, I was not happy with some choices they made, but the wrestling was great. So let's get in. So there's the 6-man tag. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander come out and introduce their third partner, the return of Mustafa Ali. It was reported he was being moved to Raw as well from that AJ Styles trade officially, is kind of what they said. And Mustafa's back. Obviously, we have a Mustafa on the podcast. So
I love it. First and last name.
Yeah, so I just kind of my point was this match was great, up and down, and I think it was right to give Mustafa a win in his first match. I just think it was bad the first match that this Hurt Business like trio is in, they lose.
Who did they pin though?
He pinned
I can't remember.
MVP.
Was it Shelton or was it
Shelton
MVP?
or MVP?
Yeah, it was Shelton Benjamin, I think.
It was Shelton. So like obviously Lashley's not taking the pin. I just think as a group,
Shelton Benjamin losing it's not bad. I don't think that's
I know,
the best way you can do it.
As a trio, you don't have them lose the first match. That's the only thing.
But wouldn't we complain if Mustafa Ali returned and he just all of a sudden lost?
Yeah, if he lost his return match, yeah.
Yes, I just think they have to book somebody else in that position. I think they put Mustafa Ali in a squash match somewhere else on the card. Even though it makes more sense for him to be there, I think they put like somebody else in that trio spot so that they can take the loss. Even though we hate Ricochet and Cedric losing, this trio needed a win. And like that's the buildup for the faces to get that win. Now they have it, and the heels lost and making them look devalued when they should be looking strong as a trio. That's the only problem I had, even though the match I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think it more helps just like put Ricochet, and it's 50-50 booking. You're going to get it. You're going to get people liking it. You're going to get people disliking it. And it helps put Ricochet and Cedric back up there with Mustafa, I think. I mean, it just means they're going to continue this feud. I personally think just because MVP is, he still is – he has the title around him. Lashley's still a monster, and he's not getting pinned. One thing I want to put out, I really like with this match. I like when, all right, so I think it was like Ricochet jumped out and Bobby Lashley caught him, and then like Cedric Alexander jumped out and Bobby Lashley caught him, and then Mustafa Ali comes out and just smashes into Bobby Lashley, throwing him to the announce table.
That was a hell of a way to take him out. Hell of a way to take him out. That was a really sweet spot. Yeah, again, great spots in this match. Like this is a really good match. I just wish the outcome was different, but I'm not going to let it ruin it for me.
Yeah, because they're going to get the upper hand over the next few weeks. I think also it's just tough when your U.S. champion is literally not on. Yeah, it's not on TV. That's difficult. So
it's
they're
tough,
doing what they can.
Yeah, So we talked about Ruby Riott versus Peyton Royce. Ruby Riott, Sean Rossap tweeted first singles victory for Ruby Riott since February in 2019.
Yeah. That's wild. That was wasn't that during the days
for Ruby
of
Riott?
Ronda?
Yeah, it was leading into a Ronda match.
Yeah.
So that is long overdue. Ruby Riott is a great talent. She's wasted in these 2-minute matches, but she got a win. I'm happy with it, even though it's against my pride and joy, the Iconics, Peyton Royce to the Iconics. But yeah, not a great match, but good to see Ruby Riott win at least.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's good. I think. What is it? Are we thinking that it's gonna be her and probably Belair versus? What maybe?
Yeah,
them
they're doing.
Together?
They're really teasing this Liv Morgan thing. I mean, that's what Peyton Royce keeps bringing up Liv Morgan to Ruby Riott and is pissing Ruby Riott off. So I'm not sure how Liv works into this. There's only 2 Iconics in Belair, Riott, and Liv Morgan makes 3. Belair should probably be on her own. She's a singles wrestler. She's got all the talent in the world. It's okay to kind of ease her in with this, but she needs to be putting on singles matches to show how great she is. Yeah, so with just Moose and I here, let's kind of talk about a pretty big return here with the tag team champions coming back, the Street Profits, winning here a non-title match against Andrade and Angel Garza. I, for one, thought it was great to see Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins back. Montez Ford is so damn good. I mean, just having him in the ring, even if it's not
so athletic.
Even if it's not like their top tier match, it was really entertaining. And I just love seeing Montez Ford in there. So what were your thoughts on the Street Profits finally coming back and getting a win here over Angel Garza and Andrade?
I was really happy to see them back. It was the first time seeing them since
about a month, I think, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks to a month, and I like you said, I love watching Montez Ford. He's super athletic in the ring, super entertaining, and I've said this before that I think that the Street Profits and Andrade and Angel Garza can have an outstanding match. I think if they put them in like an actual tag title match, I think that match is must-see TV. And Kevin, do you agree with this? I think must-see TV in an actual title match. Give them 30 to 40 minutes.
Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade.
Yeah. Oh my God, I think that'd be phenomenal. Like they need to save that match for a crowd.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it would be great. It just where's they go now because Street Profits just won clean. So it seems
that's why I didn't like it this early. It was a good match, but
I think that's done. I think Angel Garza and Andrade are shooting for a match at SummerSlam. I think they're breaking up.
Oh, I know.
Which I am excited for that match.
Yeah.
The match is gonna be really good.
I don't get why this wasn't a tag team title match, frankly. Like, why not add some more stakes to it? You know, just having it be a title match adds that much more of like a investment from the audience.
But
it was entertaining. It was entertaining nonetheless.
I'm saying give that match 35 to 40 minutes, and that match is insane.
Well, of course, I think anybody in this WWE roster right now can do a 30 to 40 minute match. Honestly, let's be real. What I want to put on is, did the Street Profits, have they lost recently? Because this could be, I don't know if they've lost recently to them, and this is just like now they're finally even, and this time it might. I could see the next stipulation being like, you know what? Or the tag title. I don't know. I just thinking Vince.
Yeah, I don't think they've lost because they beat Viking Raiders in their final match, and then they were attacked. I don't think we've seen them since they were attacked by Andrade and Angel Garza at that Raw. I think that was the last appearance, so I don't think they've lost recently. So, yeah, I'm all for a rematch.
But then, man, they also showed up later on in the show during the Big Show Randy Orton segment together.
Yeah. Viking Raiders showed up to attack Angel Garza and Andrade, right?
Right. After, but I'm just saying, it's just interesting. I just don't think they're going to be broken up as a tag necessarily yet.
Yeah, I think it'll be a few weeks away, but I think that might be where they're going for SummerSlam.
Maybe like a triple threat tag team title match, maybe, or something.
With the Viking Raiders, that would be great. Yeah. They've got to shine some more light on the tag team division. I mean, just having –
especially with all their talent. I just don't think it's smart for them to break them up yet.
They have 3 teams that are circling in the same matches week after week. And then put Ricochet and Cedric Alexander in there. I mean, just put any effort into it because they need to up that division. I mean, it's just – compared to AEW, watching week after week of AEW, just having great tag team matches, having 2 or 3 every week on a 2-hour show, and WWE has the same guys every week. AEW has different tag teams every week. I mean, FTR doesn't wrestle every week; it's every 2 weeks at best. Young Bucks weren't on last week. Young Bucks wrestling this week. So, we've talked about the tag team division wallowing in WWE. SmackDown, to a lesser extent, is better on SmackDown, but the Raw tag division is just so brutal right now.
Because the injuries have hurt it too. I mean, and with Theory being out, true. Theory and Murphy, we can't have that. We can't have, the AOP together. We can't have them together right now.
Yeah. I have a question now. AOP being brought up. When AOP comes back, are they back?
Oh!
Wild appearance from Sam!
Whoa!
Oh, connecting to audio. Oh, there he is.
We got it soon. We can't hear him yet.
1 second. Connect your audio. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
How's it going?
Welcome to the show, dude.
Yeah, catch me up. What I missed. You guys talked about
well, to our fans, obviously, this is a friend of the show.
The RKO?
Yeah, well, we can get into it now. We have not touched on the main event, so we can get into it now. But, yeah, this is friend of the show, Sam Wagner here. First appearance on Just3Jobbers. We've talked we're at the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade. Now
we're kind of in, the middle of, the state of the tag team division and just on Raw and just how we're wondering what the hell the match is even going to be at SummerSlam. We have no clue, truthfully, at this point.
Let's present to you, Sam. What do you think of the tag team divisions? We think they're just really dropping the ball overall, and AEW is shining with tag teams.
WWE, I feel like it's just so dry, and it's the same teams over and over. If you look at SmackDown, it's the New Day, always the New Day, and then they'll shuffle in the new teams every now and again. Nakamura now with Cesaro, but I think it's just so bland, the tag team divisions. I think both sides of it, of Raw and SmackDown. It's just it's not interesting. Even on Raw, they had to do that. It was decent for what it was with the Viking Raiders, where they were doing non-wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, that just kind of ran its course too, and I think they're just kind of throwing stuff out there at this point. But yeah, tag team stuff's not really working for me right now.
I agree. I feel especially with Vince being back, it's just not the thing that he thinks he doesn't see as being even a big, draw. At least, and that was interesting. I agree with you. It was so entertaining between those two tag team divisions. Now it's kind of a little bit where we were just discussing how it's literally Raw. It's literally just 3 teams somehow facing each other on and off again on throughout a show. It's kind of, and it does again. It seems so limiting. I mean, Max, what were you discussing before he jumped on? You were saying a point too as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just compare when I look at AEW, they have the champions with Kingman Page and Kenny Omega, who in the last month have defended against Best Friends, Private Party, the Natural Nightmares, and a fourth one too. They have Kip Sapien and Jimmy Havoc. I mean, maybe it's the last month and a half. So that's 4 defenses in the last month and a half for them, and that's not even talking about Dark Order, FTR, Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, who just came back, Butcher Blade. They have 10 to 12 legit tag teams for a 2-hour show that they're cycling all these tag teams through and building them up. Dark Order as well. And WWE has 3 shows, and every show has 2 or 3 tag teams at most, really. It's just –
especially right now.
It's really tough. Yeah, it's just really tough.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that, man. Yeah, and if anything, we can definitely move on. I mean, what's with the what's the next segment after that? What should we move on to? Or should we discuss? I mean,
so there was the Bailey,
Shayna came back.
Yep.
So did we see Shayna and Bailey at SummerSlam then? Is that what they're kind of looking for?
I think they're doing Shayna versus Asuka, honestly.
Yeah, I think Shayna versus Asuka is probably the right move, especially since Shayna is, that's the big match. For me, that's really the big match on Raw that they can do with they're doing the rematch with Sasha and Asuka next week. I assume Asuka is going to win.
Yeah, Asuka wins it back.
But yeah, I think so. The Kairi Sane versus Bailey, that match, I thought was a really solid match. Again, just a lot of really good matches here, and Kairi Sane getting the upset win. Good for her. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on all of this, all the happenings right now with these 4 women's wrestlers, Sam?
I think those 4 have kind of been the best thing going on Mondays and Fridays when they're on TV.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they threw her. If you've seen, kind of seems like she's going back to Japan soon. So maybe just get her some matches with the big name people before she goes. But she's done after SummerSlam. Is that what it is? Is that what they're saying?
I read this morning that it was her last taping was yesterday. She taped this week and next week's Raw, and then she's going back to be with her husband in Japan. Now, it may not be exactly true. Yeah, so this could have been her send-off, having this final match with Bailey and getting a win.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, hey, kudos to Vince for doing that. Vince, we saw the send-off for Dean Ambrose. He didn't, that was pretty mediocre. My God. So I guess with Kairi Sane, he must have really liked her or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's kind of like a wasted win to every champion need a pin. But
yeah. What was the point of? Because wasn't it already announced beforehand that they're facing each other in the next week? Sasha and so was it just to add a little oh no, Bailey was pinned. Sasha might be able to get pinned now, something like that, or
yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really.
Also, with Kairi Sane, I don't think she's being released. I think she's just going back because her husband's in Japan and she's been with him for a very long time apparently.
Yeah.
And there's also talks that she could be the head of. She could be kind of the person going forward to start NXT Japan possibly. She could be one of the big forces there. So I don't think it's the same case as a Dean Ambrose leaving, where I don't think she's being released. I think they've just come to an agreement that they're going to move her and give her time with her husband. She may come back in the future, but this could be just and for a while.
That's a good point. Okay, so then after that, it was. I mean, what do you guys think of this? This Drew. So this is what I was wondering with this too. So now next week it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler, whatever stipulation it's going to be, but it's going to be for the WWE title. I don't know. I'm a little confused. I wonder if is it just they don't want to build a feud with Randy Orton for 5-6 weeks? Is Randy Orton just going to come out and punt Dolph Ziggler in the head and then his little legend, maybe he's presented as a legend as well? I don't know. Do you think they're even correlated? What do you guys think on that?
Um, I'm not sure. I think that they just want to. They probably are just doing. They were taping 2 weeks in a row, so they had the big thing with Big Show this week, and they wanted to, excuse me, put a cap off of the Dolph Ziggler thing. Frankly, I don't like this. I think Dolph literally had the stipulation that was best for him, the best chance for him to beat Drew, and he lost.
Yeah.
Also, I hated the fact that after a big win defense last night or on Sunday, Drew wasn't even mentioned all show until the middle of the final hour in a backstage segment saying he's going to come out after the break. Why aren't they having Drew forefront? They didn't mention the title defense. They didn't mention anything until the midway in the last hour of the show. I just felt that was a big missed opportunity to present the champion at all on the show because a lot of people were leaving by that time.
I kind of agree with you, man. Yeah, I would agree with you, dude. Sam, with you, I mean, what do you think with this too? Do you think that is this a feud that interests you? I mean, we've said for weeks we just don't think Dolph Ziggler is very believable. So, yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't need to see that again. I don't need to see Dolph fight for a WWE title ever again. I don't think unless they're going to book him to actually win matches. I saw online that he won one match. He's won one singles match in 2020, and it was against like Tucker or something.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. I think that's
like
right.
That. So, yeah,
hopefully,
so,
I'm hoping they end it next week, and hopefully they'll
I would
get
think McIntyre's just gonna. Yeah. McIntyre's gonna destroy him probably next week, and then they'll get on with it. I think for the SummerSlam build, which I would assume would be Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping at least.
Yeah, let's just get into the main event with the limited time we have left. So obviously an unsanctioned match, Big Show versus Randy Orton.
It was really just like a kind of a just not necessarily I don't know why it needed to be.
It was basically just a hardcore match. Yeah, it could have just been like a
probably just going with Randy Orton's thing of doing unsanctioned.
Yeah. Big Show kicks out of one RKO. Which
is rare.
It's rare, and I don't love it.
A choke slam as well.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Orton's not losing now, but like I don't love the kick out of the RKO, but the draping.
I mean, if anyone's gonna do it, it's a 500-pound man.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but really, we got the payoff we wanted. We got the draping DDT, RKO, and the punt after match. The punt's always going to get a pop out of me. Everybody wanted to see the Big Show get punted. So, Sam, to present this to you, we've kind of been saying we think Randy Orton's really the top, really the best performer going right now in WWE with everything he's been doing with Edge, Christian.
He's must-see.
Yeah, so, like, what is your thoughts have been with Randy Orton going forward? And do you think we think he's going to face Drew? Do you think he takes the title off Drew at SummerSlam?
Ooh. I agree that he's probably the best thing going on in WWE. Him or Bailey and Sasha Banks. But
he's the best male. Best male, probably.
Best male for sure. I don't think it's all that close. But, I mean, I think they want to – I think Drew's got to beat him at SummerSlam if they fight. They got to give him, like, a big win against an established guy. Like, his reign, he beat Lesnar. But besides that, I feel like it's been kind of like – he's had good matches. Rollins' match was good. But, like – I think he needs like one of those moments as champion to like really cement his reign. But I mean, I think maybe want to put the strap on Orton though too, and maybe have Edge come back and run that stuff back again. We'll see though. I think they could go a couple different directions with that.
Jeez, yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I've thought about it too, where Drew has been I think he's really been a solid champion, like showing up every week, looking badass, kicking out at one from big moves. I think he kicked out of one from a curb stomp. So, like, I've liked that presentation of him. I think he's done really well with it. But there's definitely a good point. I mean, he faced Big Show on the Raw for WrestleMania, beat him. He beat Seth Rollins coming off a WrestleMania loss. Bobby Lashley, I think, has been his most legit defense, honestly. And then he beat Dolph, which obviously wasn't that in question at all. So there's definitely
almost none of them have been in question. That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest issue. I think we've kind of noticed that they're not going to be in question. When he's not main eventing any of these pay-per-views against these guys, it also kind of shows like, there's a good chance he's not going to lose.
It's true. That's the tough spot with booking him against Randy Orton is that Randy Orton taking a loss right now and like probably his biggest run in what, 8 years?
It's been
9
a while,
years.
yeah, man.
I mean,
I'd say so.
He's so huge right now that it's like it's tough to have Randy Orton lose, but also Drew. Sam had a great point. Drew needs that big spot, so
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna be an interesting match. I feel like that's the only thing they can book at SummerSlam is this match. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a great headline match. Moose, what do you think? What's your thoughts on it?
I kind of agree with Sam. I think Drew does need a spot because, like he said, he's had like one good match with Seth Rollins, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, Dolph was good, but
good against Brock. I'd say it did well.
I really liked
it.
I liked this match with Lashley a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's had good matches, but I think he needs that one moment where it's like he wins this big match. Like he's getting his ass kicked pretty much, other than the Dolph match. So
yeah. I mean, he's been the face of Monday Night Raw. He's been the guy holding the fort over.
I think Randy would win if Edge wasn't so hurt. If Edge was fine, I think Randy would win, and then they would have Edge versus Randy at WrestleMania next year, or like a different pay-per-view. Yeah,
I could see that. I could definitely see that happening at WrestleMania.
But Edge doesn't. When's Edge coming back? Like, did they say like 8 months or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be Edge versus Randy Orton, the trilogy capping at SummerSlam. So really, they got to change like directions. The only match besides Drew for Randy at SummerSlam that makes sense to me would be against Brock or against Goldberg. I mean, I just don't think any other match is as big as that. So
yeah,
those are the only things that would be comparable, kind of with his legend killer persona. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see where we go.
Awesome. Well, hey, that was this week's Monday Night Raw review, everybody. Thank you, Sam, for joining us this week. And hopefully we can have you on later on too. And hopefully it's not when it's conflicting with work. But Max, where can everybody find you online? Max.
Absolutely. I'm at Max_Walk. Remember, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to hit 50 by the end of the week.
Yep.
And like below.
Yep. All right. Same with you, Moose.
$20. And remember about the merch. Comment if you would like to buy some shirts and sweatshirts from us.
LFG, baby. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate all the support so far, and keep DMing us and commenting on our Twitters with us. We love it. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day. Love you all. All right. Adios.